Hi, welcome back to the Jonesy Chats Wrestling YouTube channel. My name is Steve, and yeah, WWE are back at it again with releases. I'm honestly really fucking shocked at some of these names that are on this list. This come out about an hour ago or so. Unreal. Seriously unreal. Some of these names. I'll go through the list and just give my general thoughts and opinions. Starting off with the biggest one for me, Keithley. How the guy. I've got no words for Keithley. I really have no words for Keithley. The guy was unbelievable talent. Still is unbelievable talent. I don't understand. They've obviously had their Q3 earnings call today with how much money they stupidly made, and it's all been down to budget cuts. And you've released Keithley. I've really got no words for Keithley. Keithley is the biggest shock on there because I don't understand. There might be something to do with this earlier in the year where Keithley had this whole licensing thing with his trademark thing with his name, and apparently WWE wanted to trademark his name, and he wouldn't give him permission to trademark it, which is some of the reasons why people think he was kept off the TV. Then obviously was the whole hell thing with him. Just very shocking, that one. His wife, Mia Yim, wife or girlfriend, I'm not sure I can't remember if they're married or not. It's understandable. She hasn't been on TV since before the Rumble this year. So so you're looking before January this year, when she was part of Retribution. Obviously, I think it was the last time we actually see her. That one's down to a mixture of things. Again, that kind of links in with Keithley and his health complications and all that kind of stuff. But technically one of the best female wrestlers on the roster, and creative not having anything for her is probably the biggest pile of bullshit you will ever hear. Someone who's got so much talent. I mean, when we saw her in the Mae Young Invitational and the crowd was saying, sign her up. And guess what Triple H did? He signed her up. And yeah, but again, yeah, saying not being used since some dead creative and putting her in Retribution. Just going through some of the other names, Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. I don't understand what Scarlett must have done to have been. See, for me, this one is Vince McMahon, because he basically changed what Karrion Kross was. They completely killed his character in the transition from NXT over onto Raw. They humanized him. They stopped him feeling special. They gave him the stupid fucking outfit to wear. And for me, it's what personally killed Karrion Kross off. Getting rid of Scarlett, who never even appeared on Raw or SmackDown. So that one doesn't make sense at all. Some of these other names, Ember Moon, she just went back to NXT to restart her career in WWE. She had the run as the NXT Tag Team Champion with Shotzi, and apparently whatever she was doing wasn't good enough, so they've got rid of her. Franky Monet is on this list. Franky Monet, who hasn't done anything wrong since coming into the company. Her creative the last couple of weeks, maybe months, has sort of died down a bit, but I reckon that's more down to 2.0 coming into it, and they just don't feel that Frankie probably fits the 2.0 branding. Why didn't you bring her up then? Put her with John Morrison. Have them as an on-screen power couple. Again, it makes sense. They've done it before, and you can do it again. Those two are money together. B-Fab, they've literally just called up Hit Row to SmackDown. She's been on TV for 2 weeks, and now B-Fab's in the can. I've got no words for that one. Then the people were worrying what the creative was going to be like for Hit Row, and you now worry even more because they've removed one of them. Jessi Kamea, who was part of that faction, Franky Monet and Robert Stone. Yep, she's been released. Oney Lorcan, one half of the tag team with Danny Burch. Lorcan was a solid wrestler. I think that's just a lack of creative. Trey Baxter's new to WWE. He's new to NXT. How they've got rid of him so quickly, I don't know. Zayda Ramier. Zayda Ramier is a hot talent. Only a couple of months ago, she was having one of the best matches I'd seen for someone new in WWE, and she's a Booker T former journey, and she's now gone. Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado, the Literature House Parties, that's a crying shame. They were probably one of the most underrated tag teams on the main roster, and they probably could have done a hell of a lot more with them, but they were really underused. Jeet Rama was literally just on NXT this week. He literally just had a squash match against Solo Sikoa, and yeah, he's already been got rid of. This it's strange, man, really strange. Nia Jax, a lot of people could probably turn around and sit there and go to I can see that one coming. She's had a lot of issues backstage with people reportedly. There was the kind of almost shoot angle of the fight between her and Charlotte a couple of weeks ago. Katrina Cortez, she was this sort of masked lucha libre female wrestler. She actually wasn't too bad, but again, nothing creative wise for her. Harrry Smith, who is, I believe that's the Bulldog's son. They've literally only just signed him and they never used him. So they've literally paid him for 2 months and got rid of him. And Eva Marie, who, in my opinion, should never have been re-signed, because you sat there and spent all that time on Eva Marie, bringing her up, putting her in matches. All right, maybe Dewdrop getting a push from it works in this way, but I personally couldn't have ever seen her ever really going anywhere apart from essentially being a jobber on the main roster. But yeah, shocking. Really, honestly, really shocking with some of the talent they've released here. Like you think it can get easier. Like, how much talent can they release? And you look at the last lot of releases, or say the last release when they released Bray Wyatt on his own, and you were like, well, surely that's got to be it. And in some ways, yes, a lot of this talent is expendable because most of them are not regulars on TV. So WWE can turn around and say, yep, we don't need you. See you later. But getting rid of Keithley, man, that guy, it really does push my patience as to why I bother following this company and why I watch the product and stuff like that. I mean, it just doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any easier. I mean, don't get me wrong. All of these guys, all of these will bounce back. Eva Marie will probably go back to doing what she was doing before. Harrry Smith can easily go back to New Japan. Wouldn't surprise me if you see Keithley and Mia Yim turn up in AEW pretty soon. Nia Jax, I couldn't tell you. Katrina Cortez could probably go and do some. She can go back to Mexico, do some AAA or something like that. Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik, wouldn't be surprised if you saw them in AEW. They're a solid tag team. Zayda Ramier will get snapped up instantly. 100% hot talent. Jessi Kamea, yeah, she will probably fare well. B-Fab, I'm not too sure on, because from the few times I saw in ring, she's not. I wouldn't say. I'd still say she was green essentially. Kross will get snapped up 100%. He just needs to step away from all the stuff that he was doing in WWE. Now he needs to kind of come back and reinvent his character. Ember Moon, she'll get signed up. I think with Ember Moon, she obviously has she's had previous injury problems, which it shouldn't be a deterrent from many people signing her on. But I presume this is probably one of the reasons why it's led to her release, because she's had time off for injuries. Franky Monet will get snapped up, no problem. And Scarlett will no doubt follow where Karrion goes. Trey Baxter and Oney Lorcan will end up on the Indies. Maybe you might see them on AEW Dark, maybe on Impact. Jessi Kamea, I would say, wasn't a bad wrestler. Jeet Rama, hadn't seen. I literally seen one match of him. Yeah, it's a shame that they keep doing this, man, and it's always the same petty, poor excuse that it's budget cuts, and it's not good enough anymore. We all know it's horse shit. Everyone knows it's horse shit. Your company's making record profits, and yet you need to release talent for budget cuts. I'd rather you would just be honest with them and be, look, we can't afford to keep paying you and not having you on TV. Or correction, we can't afford to keep paying you and not have anything decent for you to do on TV because we're bad at the creative side of this. I'd say Keithley, man. Don't get me wrong, Keithley will 100 guarantee you within the next year he'll be a world champion somewhere, or he'll be proving WWE wrong, and he'll be sticking it straight back down their throats 100%. Keithley to AEW. I'm saying it now because that guy deserves to go to the moon. I remember watching him for Rev Pro over here in the UK, and he just has an aura and a presence around him. But now that he can go back to being Keithley, essentially, he doesn't have to wear the one piece bodysuit because it's not the image that WWE want to give off. He's probably gonna be a hell of a lot happier now that he hasn't got to worry about when and what he's doing now because he's no longer in WWE. Mia Yim, I think he's just going to be glad to be able to do something because she's been held back for so long now, and that's just a crying shame. But yeah, WWE back at it again with the releases. Just dropping this video, man, because I'm honestly just sick of it now. I don't know really what to say on it. Their excuses are, well, it's not even an excuse really. It's a get out of jail free card for them, isn't it? Just budget cuts. But yeah, hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you soon.